We're glad you chose to join us today. If you would take a few minutes and please sign the yellow form in the center of your table. And I would also appreciate if you would complete the survey before you leave today. The PARS staff joining us today are Mandy Shakansky, and she's our Executive Director. And I'm Judy Wilson, Office Manager and National Night Out Program Coordinator. Please contact any of the staff, and we'll be glad to help you with any questions. And we'll advance the slides here in just a second and show you the agenda for the day. Now, this is just for your information. Of course, it will be on the YouTube that you'll have for your information. You know, usually at each coalition meeting, we have a champion of character. We don't have one today, but I would like to talk about it for a few minutes. We like to recognize a person who's been nominated for exhibiting good character that has significantly improved the health, safety, or quality of life in our community. And you'll probably remember that we had a student at Highland Park High School that pulled a mother and a child from an overturned vehicle. And then we had another person, maybe really two people, that rendered aid to a person who'd had a wreck. I think it was over on Burlingame. And then, of course, the last meeting we had a lady that pulled a lady and her dog from Lake Shawnee. And that's just an example of people that you could nominate for a champion of character. There are 49 different qualities to be considered for a champion of character, and you have the nomination form there on your table. So if you would, take the form and nominate someone and send the form back to me. But also, you can find it on the PARS website at parstopeka.org. So just send it to me anytime. If you have a question and you don't want to complete the form, call me and I'll fill one in for you. The minutes for our March meeting are shown. These were emailed to everyone, but this is really just for your information. It will be on the YouTube. No action is needed for the minutes. This is just for your information. Our staff update for March includes information about reaching out to our neighborhoods. Of course, this is what we're going to talk about today for our panel, are the neighborhoods. There are 2 Neighborhood Watch meetings that were held in March. Some neighbors have postponed their meetings but are beginning to schedule meetings beginning the latter part of this month and then hopefully in May and June. Since we've not had a face-to-face meetings, though, we do have 143 neighborhoods, and we send safety information to them. Just in March, we reached out to the neighborhoods, to the neighbors 7,220 times. So they get safety information, they get information on the coalition, they get other information as it becomes available. Now, also, we send information, and you probably receive it from me, about safety information as well. So we send this to the City Council and the County Commission and the Topeka police officers. And so 2,500 people have reached that information this month. And that doesn't include calls that we come into the office or emails that are sent to us. So only for March, we had over 500 calls and emails for service. That's just Safe Streets. So this doesn't take into effect the calls for drug and alcohol evaluations, which we do for youth and adults as well. Please check out our Facebook pages. Of course, you know about Lock It, Remove It, or Lose It. And of course, that's, you know, lock your car, remove the things from your car, or somebody could take them. So check on that page. National Night Out, of course, there'll be updates on the National Night Out Facebook page. Our first meeting is April the 19th here in this room. And check out the Safe Streets Coalition page as well as the PARS page. We do have 4 planning meetings scheduled for National Night Out. April, May, June, and July. And I'll be sending information to you to bring you up to date on that. So we hope every neighborhood can plan an event and have a fun time. On our Latino initiatives, Irene Caballero still meets with our Spanish-speaking community, and some meetings were held in person and others were held by Zoom. At this time, I'd like for Sergeant Dan Wilson to come forward to give us our crime stats.
I'm Sergeant Wilson with the Topeka Police Department Community Policing Unit. First, we'll look at violent crime stats. If you can see, the green obviously is the numbers that are down, red is up month to month and then year to year. Obviously, there's a lot of green on there. The one that I noted, especially almost, I guess, 4 months into the year, is the homicide number. That's a community-wide issue, and that's also something that all of us want to see down, and I'm proud of our city for that number being so low right now. So obviously aggravated assaults and batteries are up some. I don't have an answer for why that is, but if you see something, like I said, call us. That's a lot of these crimes are only solved because of the community's help, or somebody's got a camera, or somebody's heard something. So always reach out to us. On the property crime, we're obviously getting into warmer season. Garages are open, people are mowing, people are at the parks, people are at the trails. Like Judy hit on, lock your stuff up. Just shut your garage door while you're mowing so your weed eater doesn't go walking off down the street. Like I said, just be cognizant of that. Again, if you're going to Gage Park to walk your dog, put your purse in your trunk, don't take it with you. Your Dillard's bag, put it in the trunk, cover it up, stuff like that. So obviously there's a ton of green on there again. The shopliftings are up a little bit. I think some of that's because we're being more active with our retailers. Is there another, there's no other slide, is there? Okay. I'll give you a couple success stories that came out of Safe Streets, things that Safe Streets does. We have a retailers group that we work with all the retailers, or a lot of the retailers in town, Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, those kind of stores. We had an individual that was writing checks around town, and we put it out to our retailers. Retailers were able to tell us where he was at, ended up arresting him. I think he ended up with 6 or 8 cases. He wasn't going to stop until he went to jail, unfortunately. So we were able to stop that. We also had another one with our bankers group, very similar situation. I put out and said, hey, we're looking for this person. I think 9 out of 10 of the banks in town reached out and said, this guy's been doing this and this and this. We ended up arresting him for an aggravated burglary. Both of those probably wouldn't have happened, or wouldn't have happened as quickly or as successfully without, like I said, these programs. So I just figured I'd give you a little success nugget out there. So I guess we're going to do National Night Out again. So plug for that. Obviously, that's a great program. Know your neighbors if you haven't been involved before. We're also planning May 14th is the solar plunge. It's for Special Olympics. $75 to register. There's also a cornhole tournament with it if you don't want to jump in but you want to support it. It'll be out at 21st and Urish at the Aquatics Center. And you can register on Special Olympics of Kansas website. Like I said, all of it goes back to Special Olympics of Kansas. Sheriff's Department, Police Department work together to put that on. So, and it's not nearly as cold as when they have to cut the ice off the lake. So, and there's no sand, and it's 0 entry. It's a piece of cake. So, any questions?
I have a question. Used to be the retail stores, I know the police department, you do post things on Facebook, a lot with shoplifters and such, and I thought that was a great success to get the information out, but I'm not seeing, like, some of the retail stores not posting those any longer.
On our Facebook?
Originally, yes, I think so.
And I'm going to speak for our public information people. I think they just found that there wasn't as much traction for some of that stuff. I enjoyed it as well. And like I said, that's one of the things, as you know, that we kind of do behind the scenes, sharing the information. I will pass it on that the public enjoys, seeing who's doing stuff. So,
Well, if we could help.
right. I say you guys see who's doing it, and you can also point us in the right direction sometimes. So,
Thank
but
you.
I will pass it on.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right.
Thanks, Dan. Shawnee County Sheriff Office Deputy Abigail Christian.
Thank you, Judy. I will apologize ahead of time. You'll have to bear with me. I think I yelled way too much Saturday night in downtown Lawrence while I was working, and then at home in my own living room Monday night. So bear with me, please. Couple updates on our stats. We'll start with burglary and theft cases. As you can see, we are much lower than years past. Again, that is attributed greatly to the community for calling in when you see suspicious activity, giving us those tips that get our deputies there quick, and just our deputies being more proactive in general as well. So we'll keep up our end if you guys will help keep up yours too. Methamphetamine arrests are up. We actually have a press conference at the Sheriff's Office tomorrow. It's with the DEA, where we're going to talk about fentanyl and its effects on our community and how we're seeing more and more of it each and every day. So we are going to keep working hard to get these drugs and narcotics off our streets so that they're safer for all of you that live here. Felons in possession of firearms. When I left the office about maybe 30 minutes ago, we had a search warrant that was just executed with a couple in custody and some firearms that were seized. I did a media release this morning of one that was taken, it was theft of a AR yesterday during an incident, and the gentleman that stole it was a felon, so he was charged with that as well. We want people that are able to have the right to have firearms to have them, but we're definitely going to help take those firearms away from the folks that have lost that privilege. And here's our number of seized firearms, and again, that continues to grow. As you can see, we're almost to the number we were in 2018. Again, our officers are just working as hard as they can to get those numbers up. Part 1 crimes, they're all listed there. I won't read them for you, just kind of the big things. As you can see, they are much lower than in years past, and we hope that trend continues as well. Starting this Sunday is National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. It is a week long where we celebrate our dispatchers. Our Shawnee County dispatchers, while they work for the Sheriff's Office, they actually dispatch for fire, medical, police locally here, so quite a few agencies that they work for. And we are going to recognize them throughout the whole week with different activities and different, I think they have some food-related days where they get to celebrate in the office, and we just get to show them our thanks for all their hard work that they do. Because it's hard to be that calm voice on the other end of a 911 call where it's possibly the worst day of someone's life. So we are super excited. This summer, our Youth Academy gets to come back. We have been out the last 2 years due to COVID. This academy is open for incoming 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, all county-wide, so it doesn't matter what school you go to as long as you're in those grades. It is held for 1 week this summer. We're going to be at Seaman High School in the mornings, and it's completely free to those kiddos. They get to interact with us. We have different groups come, like the zoo's a big one, the fire department's a big one. They come and talk to the kiddos, and they just get to interact with us and hopefully see a positive interaction with law enforcement before anything else happens in their lives. So all that information is on our social media. We are taking registrations now on our website. Our Fraternal Order of Police Foundation, it is a mix of Topeka police officers and Shawnee County Sheriff's Office law enforcement officers. We have a foundation, and we fundraise to raise money to help our officers during the worst of times, whether someone in their family or themselves is sick, injured, or, heaven forbid, killed in the line of duty. We are having a taco feed on Saturday, April 16th at our lodge. Again, all those proceeds go to the foundation, and there will be a gun raffle. You don't have to be present to win, So more information can be found on the foundation's website or Facebook page. And lastly, I feel like we hammer this a lot, but we're just trying to make sure we get that message out to everyone. Just last week, I took a call of an individual that had received a phone call from his granddaughter. She spoke for maybe 5 seconds and just said, "Grandpa, I need help." And then she handed her lawyer off to her attorney. And a male got on the phone, and he was the attorney, and he instructed the grandpa on how to send a large amount of money to help his granddaughter get out of jail because she was in a car accident. And then the bail bondsman got on and said, "This is where we need you to go to pick up the gift cards that you're going to pay with to get your granddaughter out of jail." Thankfully, our reporting party had called his friend, who is a bail bondsman, and when he told him the story, he said, "That sounds sketchy. Call the police and see if it's a scam." So he called us. We told him, "Why don't you call your granddaughter and see if she really was in an accident?" And she wasn't. So he did not send any money. He actually went and got a large amount of money out of the bank, but he still had it at his house before he went and bought any gift cards for anybody. So please, please, please talk to your elderly family members, your young family members, and everyone in between. We're not going to ask you for gift cards. We rarely call over the phone to tell you that you have a warrant or a family member's in distress. If you call the family member and ask them if they need your help from a number that you know that is theirs. All right, so please continue to talk to your friends and family about this so people don't lose those large amounts of money. Thank you all very much for letting us come and present to you. If you have questions, please reach out, and we'll be back again next month.
Would our panel come forward now?
Hey there, how are you? I see you, bud, looking good. You are too. People don't wonder how much I cook these.
I'd like to introduce our panel today. It's our neighborhood panel. We have two from the city of Topeka and one from just right over the Shawnee County line. We have Bonnie Haig. She's with Fraser Neighborhood Watch. We have Glenn Ferris, Soldier Creek at North Kansas Avenue, and Tommy Green on the East End Neighborhood Improvement Association. So let's begin with Bonnie today. Bonnie, would you tell us about your neighborhood?
Our neighborhood is basically what I think you'd call a semi-retired group. We're a pretty quiet, established group. We don't have a lot of people coming and going as far as neighbors. When we do, of course, it's great. We welcome them. We probably have about a 4-square block area that we include when it's National Night Out. We help our neighbors by calling them when there's a garage door open. I've been recipient of that call too, you know. We do communicate through emails, also through a phone tree that Judy has helped us with. We have phone, you know, we're always, because like I said, we're kind of an established neighborhood through there. We just call people. During the summer, we're out in the front yard where they've got comfortable chairs for us, and we sit and visit, well, sometimes till it's almost dark. So it's just a very nice neighborhood to be a part of. And I want to thank the police department right off. We'll see a car drive through, and we just know that, you know, they're there working for us, and we know that they're shorthanded. But I'd like to say, too, when we had the policeman out at our neighborhood night out, National Night Out, he was delightful. He did not seem rushed. We knew he had to be, but he sat and visited with us. He sat and answered questions. by the time he left, I mean, we were all saying, attaboy. You know, it's just really nice to know that we have that type of protection. So a big hats off to our police department and our Shawnee County. I mean, it's just great to have that. So a big thank you.
Good. How has Safe Streets helped your neighborhood by providing crime prevention information to you?
Oh, my goodness. Safe Streets has been wonderful. If come time National Night Out, they will design and print our flyer. It doesn't take any brains from anyone who's coordinating it because Judy does all of that for us. How nice. You know, we get the stipend. We're getting food from Reese's. We're getting chips. We're getting water, gift card to get other things that are needed from a grocery store. And then there's just all the little goodies that you have that night to hand out to everybody. You know, the stretch balls, the keychains, the scratch pads. Crayons, yes, so those are a hit with the kids, crayons and the coloring books. But it is just wonderful that the items that we get that enable us to have a good time and yet not have the cost involved. So the other thing is, you know, Safe Streets, they're always there for us. Not that we need to call them a lot, but it's just reassuring to know they are there all the time. So a big thanks to you for that.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Thank you.
Tommy, would you tell us a little bit about your Neighborhood Improvement Association and what areas covered?
First of all, I'd like to say you're a hard act to follow.
Well,
We can step down now.
Say where we're at and leave. All the bragging I was going to do on Judy, you.
I did it.
But she is such a big help for us. Oh, you already said. Oh, thanks. Okay. Judy's just a big help, but I represent East End NIA. It's on the west side, east side, I'm sorry, of Deer Creek along the Reese's potato plant. And just a little story. I live in East Topeka North. My house is, but our church we bought up in East End. Everything gets 436 Southeast Fairfax, New Hope Community Baptist Church. And our pastor said that we were going to be part of the neighborhood because there's no use in being, a church and just, come in on Sundays and just say your prayers and do what you have to do and then leave. He said, no, we're going to try to be an active force, for our neighborhood. We've got a real different kind of map. It's not a square map, for a neighborhood. Ours goes up to, part of it goes over to Seward, and that old nursing home on Seward is part of it, to Rice Road. Then we come back up and to 6th Street. We go up to Croco Road, it takes the trailer part of there. We go along there, then we go to 21st Street, then we come back around and go to come back to Rice Road and everything. And it's been really a challenge. My biggest challenge and my biggest gripe was when we first started, we bought the church in, bear with me folks, about 2016. And this is just a side note, by the grace of God, we've already paid off our mortgage. So that's a blessing. So we're really stuck in East End now, But my biggest gripe was there's all kinds of kids up there. And at night, it's just pitch black. I mean, it's, I griped about that and griped, but it was Judy, Sylvia Ortiz, Officer Ashley Evans. She was our community service officer. And we had some event, one of the best events we had, and it was the premiere of it, was code compliance went through our area in force, and they found violations throughout our whole area, and wrote everybody up, which really increased our numbers at our NIA meeting that month. But at the same time, they had numbers and agencies and everything that could help you bring your house up to code and everything. My nephew was one of those, so I heard it personally. He's up in Eastgate, and they were pretty teed. But we were telling everybody, they got the part that they got the citation, but missed the whole complete boat on here's how you can fix your house. So the whole neighborhood got improved. That's through Safe Street and like I said, Sylvia Ortiz, Habitat for Humanity, all of that. That's what's good about Safe Street and, well, Topeka in general. Everybody works together. That's what I've found out since I've been part of NIA and stuff like that. And again, I'm just going to touch on the National Night Out. I don't know what we do without Judy. I mean, really, I don't know what time other people's night out is, but ours is from 4 to 8 on the other side of Rice Community Center at the gazebo. We just have a time every year, So if any of y'all, after you have your NIA meetings that day or the thing, if you're free 4 to 8, come on and everything. Because last year, officer, some of the officers' breaks coincided with that time, and they sat with us for the longest. They were off duty, and the fire department too, so we just had a time. But again, thank you, Judy. Don't know
you're
what
welcome.
I'd do without you.
Oh, thanks.
And she didn't tip me to say that either.
No. Do you receive crime prevention information from us, Tommy?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yes. We're a real close neighborhood. It's real clannish. I mean, it's a mixture of everybody. And if there's anything going on, the police are called, and they're there quick, everything. So, like I said, I really appreciate the law enforcement that we have, and just the neighborhood in general. And again, not least of all, Judy. And I've got to put my kudos out to our council person, Sylvia Ortiz, because she makes every one of our meetings and takes it to thing. One of the big things we've done with we get so many complaints is since they put Reesers in there, it just tears up 6th Street from Golden to Croco Road. I mean, there's craters like on the moon. And we've, over the years, we're just used to just going up there on a smooth deal, but it's pretty rough right now. But like I said, don't mean to keep babbling. I just don't know what we do without Safe Streets, and Judy in particular.
Thank you, Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn, you're in the county, right over the county line. So tell us about your area.
Well, we moved here about 4 years ago. We moved out of Texas, and first of all, I want to say that we moved around growing up quite a bit. My family moved a lot, and I always found them, but grew up in a military house and military family, and we want to say that Topeka is just one of the best places we ever lived. And this is my 4th anniversary, probably this week. And somebody mentioned to me, hey, you ought to get involved in Safe Street, and show up here at the library, and met Judy, and Judy got me involved and helped me meet a lot of people, and we've not turned back. And it's been a good thing I pastor a church, Bethel Baptist Church, right up there in North Topeka, and it was a way for me to meet my neighbors, and we went out knocking doors and things like that. And I really didn't know what our neighborhood was called. I asked the post guy, the fire department, nobody really knew. Years ago they had a name. Well, I said, well, we're in Soldier Creek at the end of North Kansas Avenue. Why don't we just be Soldier Creek North? So We might be called something different, and I'm sorry if I stepped on somebody's toes, but at least I know where we're at. So it's been a big plus out there. We love living in the county. We're really mixed out there. We have retirees, young families, the whole gamut of people. A lot of people like to come up north and just get out of the city and settle a little bit so they can stretch their feet, which has been really good for a lot of families. I do want to say something. I really love our county people. You know, anytime I've called the sheriff's department, we might see a car we don't recognize. They don't mind coming and checking it out. And I would always encourage people, if you don't recognize something, let them know. A few years ago, we seen somebody out, car in front of the lot. I went up, talked to them, and called the county, and they had a whole bunch of metal in the back, and they were getting metal from cars and stuff. And right before winter hit, I seen another car pull around in the dark, and then we bought the house right south of the church, which was really a godsend. And all of a sudden, some county guys are up there, and they're stripping down the insides of the cars. And I don't know, I didn't call back to say what they found. It wasn't none of my business, but I think they found something because they had people out there. And we want you county guys to know, if you ever need a key to the church and have people out there late at night, you need a place to rest or use the restroom, you guys are always free. And if you don't want a key, you can always call my house. And being a pastor, I answer 24 hours a day, but I do appreciate the involvement of Safe Streets, and up till COVID, I made all the meetings, and I love going back with a crime report and reporting it to my church. And I always get reminded because of the garage door. Pastor, you're leaving your garage door open again, and I'm the guy out there on the lawnmower, you know. And now you've got my wife doing it, you know, because it shows up on the internet whether the door is shut or not. Shut the garage door, you're out there mowing the grass. So thank you guys. I get nagged now for it. So, but you know, she's watching out for me. So.
Thanks, Glenn. I know that you've had National Night Out in the past. And
Yes.
you've had some themes. What have been your themes?
So we've done it every year I've been here, and it's been really good. It was a little off this last year, but I think everybody was down some. So we go out, and the first year we did a 50 sock hop, and we do appreciate Safe Street providing the material, plus the county, about Safe Street. We had a sock hop and hot dogs and hamburgers and things like that. The next year, I think we did a luau, and you know, we were out there with our wine music and things like that. And then the last year we did fiesta. This year is going to be probably a hoedown. You know, being from Texas, I'll be able to wear my boots and stuff. And so we really do these themes, and we do some things like this thing with watermelons, where the kids put the rubber bands around them, and our previous sheriff, Herman.
Jones?
Yeah, Jones. So the kids were out there doing the rubber bands and stuff like that, and you know, it takes 400 to 500 rubber bands, and he snuck up behind the kids and went bang. Now, I'll have to show the film. The kids are jumping for the sky, and it's just really a neat thing. And it's become real popular to do that. Last year, I forgot who the young lady was who came out, and Nine Square is really popular with the kids. And you know, we have cornhole, and I built a horseshoe pit behind my house, but our deputy was out there playing, sweating. You know, I don't know why it's always 115 degrees when we have, but she was, I know she had to leave and take a shower, but she was out there playing in her full gear. Was it you? Okay, I know it was a young lady, and she was out there with her full gear playing Nine Square with the kids, and it was just a big hit, so.
Thanks. Well, Tommy, I know you've had National Night Out too. What about your drum circle? You've had that in the past?
Yes, we have, I forget what the brother's name is, and my cousin's part of, one of the leaders of it. But we have the National Kansas National drum majors here, Indian thing, they do the drums. It's really nice, everything, and we've also been blessed to have the fiesta dancers there, but with and the brothers who do the drumming also have horses, so we've had horse rides and everything. But like I said, with the COVID the last few years, of course, we haven't been able to. Well, that one year nobody had it, so and last year they just hadn't got back on to doing it. I'm hoping this year that the horses and the drummers will be back, and the dancers. But we really have a good time up there. I mean, like I said, 4 to 8, and we're kind of blessed with the correction. The prison is just right across up there, and they give us about 8, anywhere from like 8 to 15 trustees that they have, and they come and help us with the work. And like I said, they're so invaluable. I mean, and I was struggling trying to carry someone, and this woman came up there just, where do you want it at? I said, wherever you want to put it. But like I said, we just have a time, and we never know. The fire department's there, and that's one of the biggest hits there. And one year, I'll be calling too, officer, about that big old inflatable dog. Well, we had that, and boy, that was like hit. I mean, it was just like some of the kids looked at that and thought that was the best thing since sliced bread. So, like I said, we just have a time. We have a time, and like I said, I've got to go back a little bit, but with the lights in the neighborhood, it was real dark. But I talked to Judy, and she told me who to get in touch with and stuff, and it's way lighted up there because my thing, what I told everybody, my concern was, those kids come out at night. You don't realize how many kids are in that neighborhood until it's at night, and they're running up and down there, and the cars are flying up and down there, and the streets are real narrow, very narrow up there. Fairfax, Rogers, Norwood, and all that up there. And I said, it's going to be a shame that probably one of them kids are going to have to be hit in the darkness before they figure out maybe it would have been cheaper to put out lights up. And this lovely lady right here would put me in touch with who I need to put with, and her and Sylvia. We've got lights all up there now. We've got lights up there now, and like I said, it's because we were working on the church, remodel it when we bought it and stuff like that. So I was up there at night working, and that's when I noticed all these kids. I said, "Wow!" I said, I don't know where y'all hide at during the day, everything, especially Sunday morning. But you got a neighborhood church. But that's one of the. Safe Street has been so invaluable, but getting those lights up there and helping with National Night Out to introduce them. We've done walk-through also, Glenn, through the neighborhoods, but like I said, no put down on the neighborhood, but they're real clannish, and they really don't come out except at night. Everything. I mean, they be riding bikes and everything up there. And another thing we had a bike-a-thon that one year, and Safe Street was there, the library, what do you call the portable library? The
Bookmobile.
Bookmobiles?
Yes, there we go, Bookmobile. Gee, whoa. They were up there, and we had Habitat Humanity and the blood bank. And we just had a lot of people and different things up there. There was a bicycle thing where we closed down the streets, and you could just ride your bicycle real safe, And it was a good time. So we've had some good times up there. But the National Night Out is really one of the star things we do. Yes, and I invite everybody in here. I know you've got your own, but from 4 to 8. You can stop up at the gazebo up at Rice, and you get good meals.
Thanks, Tommy.
Thank you, dear.
Bonnie, I know you've got National Night Out planned too, probably for this year. Do you have a time set yet?
We do not have a time set. Really have not done much with it, but yes, we will have one. I am glad I told you that we're maybe a very, but I didn't call us a retired neighborhood, I don't believe, but as I listen to Glenn and Tommy, I'm thinking they do a lot that's really fun for the kids and actually for the adults too. We've had the magician, and I can't remember his name.
Curtis Sneeden.
Curtis Sneeden has come out, and we all enjoyed that. Last year, we actually did just an ice cream social with the, funds that we had received, but we still had chips. We had lots of water. It was a fun evening, but we just turned ours into an ice cream social last year. Made for a lot of fun. We've always had a representative from the police department, and like I said, they really make us feel comfortable. So that has been just such a reward. So we don't have a lot of games, but we don't have a lot of children either. So a big thanks to Judy and to the Safe Street staff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judy, can I say something more?
Sure.
One year, Batman showed up. I kid you not. He's got a real Batmobile, everything, and he showed up. I just stood there, and I took a picture with him because we were both presenting something. But that was just really a shock. And that magician you talk about,
Yes.
he came to ours, and you kind of sit up there, yeah. So he said, he came over to me and said, hold this. And the thing, now he's standing across the deal from it. And he said, open up your box, and there's the thing that he had just showed us. And I'm sitting up there, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just a young local man. You're not expecting. I wasn't expecting how good he was. I mean, it was like, wow. When he left, it was like, oh, make sure you get him back next year. So if you've not had Curtis, it's a lot of fun.
Yes, Curtis Sneeden is with the Topeka Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
You probably know him. Of course, each year, we have great partners that provide resources for our neighborhoods, and we can't thank them enough. We've got Evergy, Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation, Federal Home Loan Bank, Pepsi, or Frito-Lay, whichever you want to call them. Frito-Lay is owned by Pepsi. Dillon's, we've got Hy-Vee, Alpha Media, Reese's Fine Foods that provides the side dishes, Lamar Advertising that gives us the billboards. We have Crime Stoppers, Cortez Transportation gives us the VIP bus, and of course our media partners, WIBW, KSNT, Capital Journal, and we couldn't do it without them. But every year we do try to visit all of the neighborhoods that we can. Just like the police department, the Shawnee County Sheriff's Office, the Topeka Fire Department, Kansas Highway Patrol, Shawnee County District Attorney's Office, they always assign people to go out to the neighborhoods, and we really appreciate that. And we're looking forward again for August the 6th of this year. So let's think back just a minute back to our neighborhoods and wonder, and I'll ask Bonnie this, can you think of anything that we could do to help your neighborhood? Anything other than what we're doing?
Goodness sakes, what could we do? I'm not sure that with the extensive help that we've received and the fact that we know it's the feeling of security that we can call police and they're always right there. We can call Safe Streets, they're always there. Judy, I really don't know of anything right now that could be done to make us feel more comfortable as a small community there. It's a great town to live in.
It is.
So thanks for all you do. Thanks for all you do for us. Proud to be a Topekan.
Tommy, what about you? Anything we could help your neighborhood or your NIA with that you can think of?
Well, we're getting a lot of support from all y'all, so I'm really happy and proud to be, like you said, a Topekan. And all I can say is, just keep doing what y'all doing, we'll keep doing what we're doing. And one of my models is just try to do better than what you did the day before and try to grow on that. But if we need anything more than what you're already doing, you'll hear my voice.
Okay, thanks.
And
Glenn?
thank you, law enforcement, too. I really appreciate you on the media.
Glenn, what about you?
I think there's only one thing I can think of. I'm so thankful they redid our road, North Kansas, and it has a stripe, but it means people drive faster down our road and there's no visibility. And last year I watched some young kids on motorcycles, and I kid you not, as a pastor, 3 times during church events at churches I've been at, I've watched somebody get killed on a motorcycle with kids watching. And somebody flipped the motorbike right in front of the church. I'd like to see maybe a couple speed traps. You can use my church just a couple times a year. Because what they want to do, Topeka's a really busy road. So they go down our road, and if you've ever been down that end of North Kansas, it's up and down. And I've literally had people, I can't see them driving out of the driveway, and then all of a sudden they're there. We've done what we could to get our church people safer, making sure they go in one direction and out another direction. But I'm so afraid one day, because of the speed down that road, we're going to be having to make that critical phone call that, hey, this happened. I do know my mailbox has been hit, and a couple of them get done, but just every single day, people either coming or going figured they can speed up, go down that way, not worry about traffic. But that's really the only complaint. I think our neighborhood's been safe every time I've called the county. They've been out there, and never made me feel like I was a problem. And it's not that I call them all the time, but they want to know if something's parked out there. 'Cause
Right.
believe it or not, they're usually finding what they're looking for, because those people like to hide behind the church. And we do have it lit up pretty good, but I think there's one area of the church that we probably should do better. So, but anything we could do to make it better for the county and ways we're willing to help as a community. So we just want to reach out to our community and let them know we're part of the community too.
Okay.
We're not there to proselyte anybody. It's our community, and we want to love on them as much as we can. So,
Thanks, Glenn. Thanks, Glenn. I did want to just mention our neighborhood. I'm with the Rolling Meadows Neighborhood Association. We have 340 homes in our neighborhood. We have had 2 drug houses that we've closed. We thought it was just a suspicious house and found out that, yes, they were dealing drugs. So those 2 are closed. So our neighborhood is just pretty safe. We do have people that patrol our area, whether they are in a car, on foot. A lot of them walk their dogs. A lot of them get their exercise morning and night. We have one gentleman that likes to go out between midnight and 2 in the morning. So he says it's pretty quiet, except maybe at a park down by 37th and California. But anyway, we appreciate our neighborhood as well. They're really working to keep everything safe. We do thank our panelists today for coming, and you will receive a YouTube link and a survey in a few days. We appreciate you filling out the survey if you have it on your table. That would be good. And we hope to see you back here on May the 4th. Thanks for coming.